where we live has sometimes clashing sets of values, and sometimes we see it as a dilemma how to reconcile these two different cultures and these two different sets of values. And this is the subject today, and we are really looking forward to a very lively debate, as we are used to from you guys. And so please participate in the discussion. Everything is allowed. Every question, every answer is allowed, as long as it's on the topic, and as long as we all do it in a civilized way. Before moving on to this topic, as you all know, you might have read in the ad on the Facebook that our keynote speaker today is Dr. Mugai, and he will be up here in a few minutes to take you through his presentation. Just a very brief introduction of Overseas Progressive Pakistanis, or OPP. You know us in the meantime. So it is basically a platform for the people of Pakistani origin, although everyone else is welcome, to promote progressive values in a multicultural environment. So this is really a reason. Our vision, if you wish, is basically three words, or two words. It is unity in diversity, because we are all striving for really create some kind of platform, a united platform, although we are very diverse people. And diversity is something to celebrate. Diversity is beautiful. Diversity is not about fighting each other or opposing each other. Our mission statement is strive to eliminate exploitation and discrimination through meaningful dialogues. And I have to emphasize the last two words, meaningful dialogues, because that's what we do, that's what we engage ourselves in. The events we had so far, we started this organization with your support in the summer of 2016. Our inaugural meeting, when we introduced the OPP, was in December 2016. And after that, we had several, as you see, discussions, workshops, talks, bridging the generation gap, Pakistan in search of identity, Pakistanis in the Netherlands, their identities and expectations, contradictory choices, minorities in Pakistan, and Pakistanis as minority in Europe. Then we had a discussion about NGOs in Pakistan. Are they patriots or traitors? We had our first annual meeting in December 2017. Then we had a meeting on enforced disappearances in Pakistan, and the integration of Pakistani women in Dutch society, which was a highly successful event. Then on media, we had Hamid Mir and Dr. Soleria here. Is media free or a hostage? And that was not just media in Pakistan, but media globally. And today we are having this event on dilemma or opportunity. So back to today's topic, today's subject. Would like to start with a quote from John Barry, finding your place in a new society. What is it? It is a person's ability to maintain self while also building a relation to the society in which they now live. It sounds very simple, but a very difficult task, because you are coming from somewhere else into a new society, and there you have to somehow keep yourself intact, but at the same time try to make a life or build a life in a new environment. Let's have you all know, I'm not telling you anything new, because Pakistan itself, interesting thing is, it's as multicultural, multinational country as it can get. Sometimes maybe we don't realize, but Pakistan was, since 3,500 years, and still is, a multicultural society in every sense of the word. It has been home to one of the oldest civilizations. If you think of Gandhara civilization, Mohenjo-daro, the Takshila, and then Indus civilization, which was around the same time as Egyptian civilization. So we really have been home to very, very old civilizations. Punjab has, I took just a couple of examples, has Bhangra and Luddi, Baluchistan, Leva and Chap, KPK, Khatak and Kumbar, Sindh has Damal and Jumro. So every region, if you see this on the map, we have different language, different culture, different food, different customs, different people, they look different, different history. And so Pakistan is in every sense really, it's a very rich in that sense that we are a multicultural, multi-ethical and a multinational society. We had all kinds of religions you can think of, still in Pakistan, even as we speak today. We have Islam as dominant religion, we have Hinduism, we have Christianity, we have Ahmadiyya, we have Baha'is, we have Sikhism, we have, I can never say this word, Zoro, somebody else. Anyway, so we have this one as well, Parsis. Then we have Kalash, we have Jainism, Buddhism, Judaism, I mean, you name it. And some might be surprised to see Judaism here. In Karachi, in 1947, when Pakistan became independent, we had a population of 1,500 Jews in Karachi with a synagogue. I mean, a lot of people won't believe it, but we had that. And it was so diverse country, it still is, as I said, in terms of many religions. So if we come from such a diverse country, then what is the issue? I mean, why have we problem with this, some kind of multiculturalism, multi-atheism, etc.? So let's try to find some answers today. I mean, this is Pakistan. These are real photos from different regions and different communities. Now, instead of, somewhere along the lines, I think we got a bit sidetracked. Instead of celebrating and promoting diversity, many tried to deny it. Like, no, we are one, there is no difference, there's one, and so on and so forth. And what we did was, we took the faith as one element and said, we are one because we have one faith, because we have one religion. That is true of the majority of one religion of majority. But religion is not the only component which constructs a nation or a community. Religion is a very important element, and it's one of them. Okay? Take it? Okay. So, because geography is one, history is one, culture is other, language, food, customs, how we celebrate, how we get married, music, art, all these elements, they make a nation, and religion is very important and maybe the most important one, but it's not the only one. Then what we started doing, particularly people like us, like me, living abroad for a very long time, we start romanticizing some of the things. Even the negative things, we tend to over-romanticize them. And because we go there like once a year, twice a year, for 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, we stay in a very protected environment. We know where to go, where not to go, and everything is an adventure because it's very romantic. We are there, so even negative things, we tend to look at them in a very romantic way. So we somehow drift away slowly from the reality, and we have a remote connection with this. We love the place, and we have songs about it, we have music about it, we have lyrics, and we kind of over-romanticize this. And sometimes we tend to avoid the debate and discussion on the real issues. And I've been, for today's meeting and also as a general interest, following lots of discussions on Facebooks and on social media, in particular within our younger people who are our future basically, because we are the past. The subjects I see most of the people discussing, they amaze me. I mean, they are very nice, lovely, involving, interesting subjects, but there are so many international debates, so many national debates in Holland going on very big issues, on big subjects, big debates going on, political, social. There are very big debates going on in Pakistan, in that region also. But somehow our debate and focus is, if I am not exaggerating, I think about 40% of our discussion is looking for a right partner. I know it's a very big issue, but I see on Facebook about 40% of the posts and discussions going on, लड़की कैसी होनी चाहिए, लड़का कैसा होना चाहिए, उसमें से कौन 3 अच्छी खूबियां आपको पसंद आएंगी. अगर आपकी लड़की का कोई दूसरा masculine दोस्त हो गया तो is it allowed or not? अच्छा इसका उसके बाद it's good. I mean, I'm not kind of making joke of it because it's a serious, because you spend life with someone, and it's a very, very, very important decision because you choose someone and you want to spend. But boys and girls, brothers and sisters, there are many, many bigger things in the world Because if we solve lots of bigger issues, these issues will be solved automatically. So please do engage yourself with the society, with the politics, with social issues. You all are born here, you are highly educated, you are bright people, we are proud of you, but just open up a little bit. Just open up a little bit. And I say here a quote by someone, that minds are like parachutes. They only work when they are open. You will crash if you don't open your mind. So do open your mind, discuss these things, but there is a bigger world out there. You are very lucky in many ways to be here today, born here, get this kind of education, get this kind of exposure, stimulated free thinking in this society, so many beautiful choices to make. Don't limit yourself. You have endless world in front of you. Go and explore it. Why you want to limit yourself and close yourself into a discussion, which is important, but is not the only one. Now, why I'm saying that we picked one element and blew it out of proportions, because look at these people. All of them have the same faith, but do they share the same culture? No. Their culture has nothing to do with it. They have nothing common except the faith. So we can't call them one nation, because they are not one nation. So what are the major factors in this situation we find ourselves in? There has been a generational transition, which is immigrations versus natives. When I came here, Niazi Sahab, Parvez Sahab, Arvi Sahab came here, not Dick, he was born here. We were immigrants. So we had completely different kinds of issues, and we can have a separate discussion on that. But you people who are born here, you are natives by every sense of the word, although you have roots somewhere else. So that's the difference. We have to differentiate that. And in many ways, for the second and third generation, it's much more difficult to integrate than it was for us. Because we came as immigrants, and we thought we would be staying here temporarily. And we'll go back after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But the ultimate goal was to go back as soon as possible, as soon as you have finished your study or saved some money, and so on and so forth. Then the other factor we have is nostalgia versus identity, which I said that sometimes we mix up these two things. Of course, we feel very nostalgic about Pakistan, but I know so many of you, I have spoken with them, who feel very nostalgic. But it's not your identity, it's nostalgia. You want to go to that place where you were born, or where your parents were born. And so don't mix up these two things. And once you go there, and I know from many of you, after 3 days or 2 weeks, you say, "Kab wapas jayenge, kahan phas gaye?" That thing also happens. Then the rhetoric and its polarizing effects. If we see the political atmosphere in last 10, 15 years in Europe or worldwide, there is such a huge rhetoric which has a polarizing effect, and the communities have been polarized and put up against each other. Then there was a lot of discussion, in particular in Holland, integration versus assimilation. I mean, we are integrated, we want to be integrated, but there is another definition of integration which they expect us to completely assimilate and lose yourself. I mean, जैसे दरिया समंदर में जब चला जाता है, खत्म हो जाता है बिल्कुल, वैसे आइडेंटिटी नहीं हो सकती, मतलब वैसे इंटीग्रेशन नहीं हो सकता. दूसरा, there is something which has taken root in the language and in the politics and in the sociology, which is allophone and autochthone. Now, whatever you do, whatever we do, you are always called allophone. And allophone is basically, I mean, nobody knows you were born here. When they see you, you might not even speak any other language than Dutch, but you will be seen as allophone because of your appearance. So that has somehow divided the society, which is very difficult to bridge. And there are debates and discussions going on. And overtly politicized debate on immigrants. We see millions coming to Europe because of war zones and other problems and other issues. It's a separate debate. Now, we, all of us, every single one of us becomes, in a way, ambassador of Muslim world or ambassador of immigrants. I mean, nobody knows, it's not written on our forehead that you have been living here or born here and you are Dutch in every sense of the word, but you will be seen as an immigrant. And that labeling and putting people in boxes, that has created another problem. Dr. Amir Mulga, I know you have been all waiting for him. Dr. Saab will introduce himself briefly, but we all are very, very proud of him. He's founding member of OPP and also did his PhD recently. And any one of you studies and does PhD is a proud moment for us. And I would like Amir Mugai to come and take you through his thoughts. Any comment or question so far?
Contribution के बारे में.
Contribution, okay. We have a small shoebox outside in silver red paper, and any one of you who wants to give some donation, because all these events, they cost a little money, and we all, and as I probably, no I didn't say, I said it in the last meeting, that we are totally independent organization. We don't have funding from anyone. We are not aligned to any political group or party. So whatever you can contribute from €1 to whatever, please put that in the box, and that helps us to cover some of the expenses. Thank you very much.
A small comment.
Yes, sir.
You said Pakistan got independent from that time, but I think Pakistan came into being, not got independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But we will have question and answer.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the sharp observation. No, you're right.
first मैं अपने बारे में बताऊंगा अक्सर लोग नहीं जानते हैं ये लोग इनसे जाति को मैं काफ़ी अभाव से बात हुई है लेकिन ये है कि some of you might know that I finished my PhD recently like some months ago back and I did my research on the Pakistani organizations, mostly religious organizations and also non-religious organizations in the Netherlands and the UK and certain parts of Denmark. And so I have a kind of comparative study background, how the Pakistanis came in mostly in the Netherlands and the UK, and what kind of organizations they developed, and how the second generations who were grown up came here, and how they are doing, and the kind of issues, religious issues, social issues, family matters, I mean all those are discussed in my thesis. But anyhow, today I thanks the people here who invited me to have a kind of introduction to this topic, a kind of broader background. I mean, we are also interested to know more from the panel people who come, who are people who are born, brought up here, and what they are going to say about specifically what we have mentioned here, dilemma or opportunity. But I will just give a kind of broader background, a bit theoretical background also to the kind of issues which we are talking about today, and kind of the young people who are brought up, mostly young Pakistani who are brought up here, how the things go with them. So first of all, I will give a kind of dilemma. I mean, definition of these two terms which we are actually dealing with, and you know that the term dilemma. I mean, dilemma has to do with kind of situation. You know, you have to choose. You have to choose between two possibilities, which are even equally, you know, equally bad. But one is less bad, or perhaps the other is. But I mean, that creates dilemma of what to do, where to go, and dilemma is created in a situation where you have to choose from situation with two possibilities, and which are equally perhaps for you are undesirable, or perhaps you don't want to do that, or perhaps, but you are in a position you can't go without that. You have to choose from one of those. And at the same time, when we talk about opportunities, then I meant is that what are the possibilities for you in such a situation of dilemma? What are the possibilities for you to go? I mean, you can either, the kind of decision you take for choosing one thing or other, what were the possibilities before you, what were the positive and negative measurements, of making it, which you make to go further. And you know, you come in situations, in the kind of crossroad, you know, it's crossroad situations. You can either go right, you can either go wrong, or left, or and also it depends on where you go. You know? So different possibilities you have to do. Here I will go a bit background, a bit theoretical background to say why it is important to talk about dilemma or opportunity, and what is the background to that. And in that sense, to explain that, I will go back to German sociologist Stonier, and he actually was one of those modernist theorists who brought this idea of Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft, and which means Gemeinschaft means, you know, kind of community. In the Dutch word, Gemeenschap is also related with that, although its meaning is a bit different. While the Gesellschaft is more modern form of that, which is called society, which is what you call it. And in the process, you know, from the left to right, what we see is that on the left we have the traditional form of societies. Traditional means you can say kind of a small city or a kind of village society where everybody knows every other party, which is what is called the traditional society in certain location. And on the right side, on the other side, the kind of shift as a result of modernity, modern society has happened, and then the social relations in the modern context has become different, and a kind of transformation is happening. So what happens as a result of that transformation? When you have the Gemeenschap or community on the left side, there the kind of relationship among the persons are personal. Everybody knows every other party. But in a modern society, those relations become impersonal. Yeah? If we move to bigger cities or move to the modern Western societies, those we see in every day that the relationship among us are not that personal. You know, nobody, even you don't know your neighbors who is living there. But if you have something to do with them, then you talk to them. Similarly, the other form is informal. In a kind of traditional community relationship, you know each other, you talk to each other without any kind of hurdles. You just go into the other person's house. You need to imagine like the village life in Pakistani context. And while in societies, in a bigger modern societies, in more city lives, those relations become formal. I mean, and contextual. You don't go to everybody's house without seeing. You know, just you have to make an appointment. You have to go. There's certain rules and regulations to follow to have relations with others. And similarly, in a community, you have intimate and familiar. You know, in a village life, you imagine that everybody knows everybody, and not only every person, but also their parents, grandparents, and their generations, they know each other. But and that gives a kind of familiarity which goes with the generations. While when in a modern society, those familiarities are no more. In a city life, modern urban lives, you have a relationship or contact with somebody if you have something asked, something to do, is what's called as task specific. Similarly, really there's a traditional and utilitarian. I mean, utilitarian means that you are, if you have to do with somebody, if you have some interest with somebody, then you talk to them, you have a relationship with them. Otherwise, you live a kind of individual life. And other point is emphasis on ascribed statuses. Means that if you imagine in a village life, you have within sociologists working on concept in Punjab, they said you have 11 castes in a village, 11 castes, and the 12th caste is of the Bolbi. Means the societies are divided into castes. You know, you have shoemakers, you have cobblers, you have barber, every caste, there are 11 castes in a certain village, and the 12th is of the Molvi, who is also, defined in a certain caste. So it means that those statuses are coming from tradition to tradition, from one generation to generation they are going on. But if you move to city life, if you move to urban lives, transformations happen. Those relationships, the relationship among the people are not defined on the basis of caste or certain described, but on the basis of what you achieve. Right? If you're a lawyer, if you are kind of profession you are doing, you are defined on basis of that. So there is a shift. But I mean, why I'm saying this, because in our context, the Pakistanis or the Indians who moved towards the Western, although those shifts are happening, but those shifts are slow. I mean, even among the Pakistanis, you all know that when they go to marriages in the European context, it doesn't matter 4 to 5, 50 years they are living here, but they still ask, okay, आपकी जात क्या है? जब वो शादी करते हैं, वो आपकी जात क्या है? तो कहाँ से आए आप? I mean, it means that those things, although changed, are shifting, but still there, those relationships are, even in the modern context, they are there. Then I would say that the next point is that in a community there is less tolerance. Less tolerance means that everybody have, you are under certain control. Right? You have under certain norms. You have to follow those. You have to decide certain things on the basis of considering those norms, those controls. While in urban life, in a modern society, those values of tolerance has changed. You have more tolerant because you are less bound by the norms which were sometimes ago in your society. And I think the next point, the social change, has also to do with that within the traditional society or within tradition, the change is slow. In the village life, you would say the change takes time, long time, that things shifts within the social norms happen. While in urban life, the social change is enormous. Within 20 years, just look at how internet in the last 20 years has changed our relationships. I have mentioned about social control, and then the last point is that the community or the landscape that has to do more with the urban life, with the rural life, while the societies, it has to do with the modern urban lives which we are actually living here, or even in Pakistani Indian context. Then I will go. I mean, why I mentioned that. I mean, the idea is that actually we are shifting from a kind of rural life, of rural way of looking, of doing things, to when the migrants move to the European context. In many cases, if I look at the Pakistanis, for example, in the Holland and in the UK, for example, the majority of them were from the rural Punjab, villages, small towns, from those areas. And for them, the shift was a huge shift. I mean, coming to the European countries was a huge shift for them in their society, in their person, in their how they relate themselves with the other person, and how they relate with the broader society. So it's a huge shift. And now I'm talking about the first generation, but when we go to the second generation, that shift, although is there, but there are a lot of things which are creating what we are talking about today of the dilemma, because they come from, the second generation come from the elders or the parents who made that shift from the urban or small villages and small towns, and in a moment they move to the urbanized Western societies which demands of the urbanity of urban social structures, and that brought them in a certain situation where they try to keep the traditional values which they got from their villages or from their some small towns, and in a way they also try to give those to their parents and to their next generations, and there that was the place where those kind of dilemmas are happening. And when we look at the young generations, the situation is different. Those young people has gone to their schools in this society, and in the education system in this society emphasizes a kind of individual decision making, to take your own responsibility. What you decide, take your own responsibility, and the whole education system is based on that. So, I mean, on the one hand, you have the family, which is in this society, in this context, in the Western context, which has certain background, social background, and they try to socialize their kids following those norms. While you have, on the other hand, you have school systems, which gives a certain view of birth, certain histories, certain idea of nation, how they emerge, and what is their relationship, and the kind of expectations or base of that histories and the nations, concept of nation, what they expect from the generation, and how they not only expect but how they should operate in this society to become a kind of successful or integrated or whatever kind of adjective you can add to that a functioning, good functioning citizen. And then beside that, you have two aspects: your family, you have schools, but at the same time, third is the kids go outside. I mean, you have besides school, they have also to go beside those tradition, those schooling. I mean, domain. They also go in outside society. They work, and they apply those norms which they get from either house and also from schools, and they operate, they develop themselves how to act in that society and make some decisions, and those decisions are based on the kind of norms which these two domains have got, and also the kind of in which religion plays a role, in which law in the society where they live, that plays a role, and that makes a kind of person what a young generation here is, and who makes certain choices, their own choices, while considering both the tradition values which they get at school, at the same time at the home, and at the values they get at the school. But the point is that that one should be open towards the values which in both domains have got, and one should not have wear kind of blue glass. I mean, if you wear kind of blue glasses, then you will look at everything through those glasses, and everything will be seen as blue. So, I mean, for important for what I got from the kind of talks and kind of issues which are happening among young is that on the one hand you have the individuality which we have got at schools and universities, and the society which is giving to you, and at the other hand you have the group engagement which is coming from your family, from your mosque, and the broader networks which you build within the own community or in this case Pakistani community. So I mean, the dilemma is there, how to make those choices, on the one hand considering your individual development, at the same time your group engagement. And the thing which I think it is not only specific for the Pakistani, but it happens for many societies, is that when you make your choices, you always consider your surroundings, and then this dilemma, this point, log kya kahenge, that is very central towards making good choice. I mean, of course, mean, we talk about Pakistanis or Indians, but it is not only limited to that. Even in Dutch society, those things are there that people look at in their surroundings when they take a certain fundamental decision in their life. I think this point was a bit mentioned by Batisa in introduction also, that we live in a kind of we live in a diverse society. I mean, we came from a diverse society, which perhaps we are not always consider it is that diverse. That was the point what Batisa was also making. We came from that diverse society, but we're living in a diverse society. And for that, that society also demands from you certain way of doing, certain behavioral pattern, how to act in that society. And considering that, I see that when a person makes choices, then in a diverse society, you have to take into consideration that what kind of choices you make. What I want to say is that you have certain ethnicity. You are Punjabi or Pashtun or whatever. You have certain religious background, which is also diverse. You can be Sunni, Shia, whatever, and it gives also certain ethical norms to you. But at the same time, you have certain patterns which you have got at the school here. The school system here has its own. If I use the thick word, the school system is actually based on Enlightenment thinking here. The French Revolution and the ways after that, the kind of thinking which emerged in geographical context, those are the systems which are provided to you. And the school is working on that to create a kind of that individual who has certain liberal, certain individualized based patterns are structure. So what I want to say is that those both things, being an individual who is developed with that kind of thinking at school levels, and at the same time certain religious background and ethical background, it demands to you to act in a certain way in this society. And coming towards the opportunities, what I want to say in this context is that you have certain rights, you have certain responsibilities and freedoms while living in the society. And the society provides you those things. If they put you in a situation that where you can enjoy your rights, but at the same time, the society also demands certain responsibilities from you, and they provide also freedoms. And it's a provisions of different kind of opportunities, different kind of chances to work in this society. Once I asked, during interview somebody that when you moved here, what was that you liked here most? And he said that there was kind of internal feeling of freedom, which perhaps he or she was not missing was not getting or was missing in Pakistani context, that they got in this society. A kind of internal feeling of freedom. Freedom means that you can make certain choices in the society without going to this context, without going to what other people say. Of course, when you are in the community, when you are engaged with broader Pakistani or South Asian context, you look for, you are bounded by sometimes by certain things, but still, feeling of freedom is there to make your own choices in such. An important thing which I want to give is that I mentioned that we got certain values at schools, you got certain values from your religion, your society. Important is to challenge those values, in your personal approach, to challenge those values which you got from your parents, your religion, and this society provides that possibility to challenge those values. important in this sense is that does not matter. I mean, people say that our parents' religion, our parents' Islam was this in our country of origin, but when you come to this society or in any other context, those values are changed. It is up to you how you define, how you involve those values in a new context, and in that process, you also challenge those values which you have got from your home or your mosque or your broader tradition which you belong. So there is a point where what we call as contradictions, the contradiction at home and outside. That's the point where those play, and it is. I think every individual makes those choices, and that is important. I mean, I'm considering myself, I'm not from those persons who say, that young people here are not making their choices. They are making choices, but it depends on the possibilities and on the kind of choices they are making. And I think our today's talk is about that. What are the possibilities? How their choices are those choices are made. So there is nothing, right and wrong. You have always the possibility. You have to have, as a source to do this, because society provides you different possibilities. It depends on you, what you look at, where, considering your background. You can look at the same thing from this different perspective. I think I have said one more thing is which I got, it's in our context is the claim culture. The claim culture, which I mean, with that I meant that we claim that we make some historical claims about Islam or about Muslim societies or about history regarding Pakistan, but we don't have knowledge, or at least we don't give them sort of background to support our claims. We make claims without considering of giving the kind of base to those claims which we are making. Just I will give an example. For example, in Pakistani history case, the school history which I have read, they said that the Pakistan was made when Muhammad bin Qasim entered the area which is now Pakistan, and we are actually from that onwards we are Pakistani, we are Muslim. But if you look at the history of Pakistan, the kind of choices which Jinnah made from 40 to 47, he has many possibilities before him. There was possibilities that he would remain within the Indian domain, within what at that time called Indian domain means broader Indian subcontinent. He was not planning to go outside that. Or there is also another historian who says, which is also kind of controversial within Pakistani context, that actually Jinnah in 1946 had accepted the cabinet mission who came about to talk about the future of India, and the cabinet mission has said that we will have a kind of strong provinces, and while the central government will be weak and kind of future of India. And Jinnah in a way had accepted that, I can live with that, while Nehru has rejected that. So it means that actually, for that historian at least, actually it was not Jinnah who divided India, it was actually Nehru who divided India for not accepting the cabinet mission plan. So I mean, there are many possibilities which were at the time going towards 1947 before Jinnah, where he made those decisions. And when we say that Muhammad bin Qasim came and Pakistan was founded on that day, I mean, what kind of claim we are doing without any historical social knowledge? I mean, I gave one only example from historical context, but there are also many social reasons why happened in 47 and why Pakistan emerged. So I think I will finish with that these claim makings, these norms, and these beliefs which we got from our parents, from our society, from our area of origin, or from the mosque bodies, we have to challenge. We have to put into a kind of contest what we are getting, and that means that we should also put into contact in a kind of contest our personal self. Our personal self should be always in a kind of contest with kind of knowledge which he or she is getting, and we should be ready for that. In that sense, we have to put ourselves quite vulnerable towards when we are active, we are operating in society. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mughal. Thank you very much. I would like now to invite our three panelists to come here forward, please, and I would request Mariam Mohammed. So, if you would please come and take a seat. Don't worry, we won't give you a hard time.
You will.
Okay. Please take your seat. Then Farhan. Farhan is there. And last but not least, Sharia. Now, as we move into our question and answer session and discussion, to kick that off, I would really request our three panelists to briefly introduce themselves and brief introduction, but also make a brief statement on the topic. What do you think about the subject, about this topic? Literally brief statement, and then we can take questions from the audience. Would you like to kick off from there?
Okay.
Get more.
No problem. My name is Sharia. I'm Dr. Sharia Amir. I'm a pediatrician, born and bred in Holland. I'm a PhD in pediatric oncology, and I work here in a hospital in Waterland. Has been for quite a long time getting more allochtonen, so non-native Dutch students for a medical specialty training or medical training, and how they can improve their chance to become a specialist. That's one of the things that is lacking. 25% of all medical students, when they start up, are of a not Dutch background, and less than 5% will succeed in becoming a medical specialist. And why do we have this huge gap? So this team really fits into that line of interest I have in endogenic and exogenic factors which result in less cancer for these students. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mariam. I've studied law, and I came here because I feel there are not a lot of Pakistani women that come in front. I mean, there are, but there should be a lot more. And I am born over here. My mother lives here since she was 9 years old, so I have a lot of the Dutch influence, but I also have a lot of Pakistani traditions brought in my upbringing. Yes, upbringing. And I felt like this is a good moment to share my experiences and discuss with other people to know the differences and the things that we share in common. So, yes, here you go.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम है फरहान मसूद। मैंने जो से स्टडी की आईटी में, प्रोफेशनली जो मैं आईटी में जॉब कर रहा हूँ। ये एक्चुअली खैर मैं प्रोफेशन का हो गया। अगर हम बात करें कि डिफ़िकल्टीज़ के बारे में टॉपिक के हिसाब से, तो वो जो सा लेटर में बात करूँगा कि हमें डिफ़िकल्टीज़ किस तरह की आई जब हमने एक फील्ड स्टार्ट किया, जो कि आपने मेंशन किया था। लेकिन अगर मैं पर्सनली बात करूँ तो मैं जो था 13 साल का था जब मैं हॉल में आया, मैं यहाँ पे बोर्ड नहीं हूँ, तो उस लिहाज से जो सा मुझे भी बहुत डिफ़िकल्टीज़ जो सी हैं चैलेंज करनी पड़ी और फेस करनी पड़ी। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो है लैंग्वेज का बैरियर, बहुत ज़्यादा जो है पाकिस्तानी जो यहाँ पे उनमें एक कम्युनिटी नहीं थी यहाँ पे, जो कि हमें रिलेटेड उनसे बनानी पड़ी, उसमें भी कुछ काम करना पड़ा। तो इस बारे में खैर बात देना डिस्कस मोर करते हैं जी।
Excellent. Guys, we can't get luckier than that. We have a doctor, we have a lawyer, and we have an IT expert. So
Yeah.
So shoot at them. Questions. Haji? मैं शुरू करूँ। आप आ जाइए। Ah, thank you. Thanks. You see, doctor getting prepared. Okay, first question, just to kick it off. I mean, all of you, as you said into your introduction, your background, you may have faced situations which were a kind of dilemma for you, where you have to make contradictory choices. What kind of situation was that? And how, in hindsight, you still see that as a dilemma or as an opportunity? Were there any difficult situations where you thought, God, I'm stuck in a dilemma, I have to choose between the two cultures or two sets of values? And how do you look at it now after so many years? Anyone wants to speak first?
So like I said, education is the main thing where I look at, and what I'm gonna say, I think a lot of young students from a different background have faced the same problem when it comes to getting the equal opportunity from going from primary school to secondary education. So a basic school towards whatever comes after that. So that can be what we call slightly lower, MAFO or FE MBO, or the higher ones, half or FE. So what I faced was the problem that my parents had me and my brother in the same class, and we two were the first ones going towards secondary education without any knowledge of how the system worked. So my parents didn't know anything about the value of CITO-TOEFLs or whatever, and they solely trusted the teacher because they are from a culture where the teacher is the dominant figure who knows best. Whatever he or she tells you, that is true. So they trusted the value of our teacher, and there was a part of discrimination going on there because I wasn't able to even do MAFO. I was lesser than MAFO, and I was sent to a FEBO MAFO school. So that's old school. Now we have FEBO. So this is what we call Kader FEBO. That was for me a huge problem, a dilemma. Where would I stand? I tried to go further towards a school with MAFO possibilities to grow further, and they pulled me down. And it was a big problem in our house, so I did not know how to make these decisions. And I was standing there without any person who could provide me with proper knowledge and experience on that topic. And eventually it turned into my opportunity when I learned to fight in a verbal way when I got further. So I was able to get good numbers and high grades and things like that. But still I was pushed down, and I learned to communicate in a way necessary to be pushed forward. And I changed several times schools. So the dilemma was, how did I end up here, and why are they discriminating me? And eventually it turned into an opportunity. I was able to be verbally strong enough to circumvent in the future most other things I faced like this, because it came again and again several times. But then I was mentally better prepared. Whereas if I had, I think, and I'm just speculating, had an easy path towards FEBO directly and doing medicine and whatever, I would have made my choices maybe less strong with less passion, and I think this has given me opportunity to grow as a person.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it feels like a huge defeat. So that's really difficult. How you can self-reflect and grow into a better person.
Yeah.
So it's been a
Yeah. Great.
जी, जैसे मैंने मेंशन किया कि मैं 13 साल की उम्र में हॉलैंड आया, तो उस टाइम में मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था हॉलैंड के बारे में कि किस तरह से यहाँ पे ये हुआ। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जब से स्कूल जाना शुरू हुआ तो उनको लगा कि ओके ही इज फ्रॉम थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्री सो वी गोना पुट इन एमबीओ, दैट्स मोस्टली व्हाट हैपेंस हियर। तो पाकिस्तान में जो था मेरे बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आते थे, मैं इंग्लिश स्कूल में पढ़ता था जिसकी वजह से मेरी इंग्लिश बहुत अच्छी थी पाकिस्तान में। तो कुछ थोड़ी देर के बाद मुझे महसूस हुआ कि इट्स नॉट, ये चीज़ ठीक नहीं है, क्योंकि ये जो से आपको जनरलाइज कर रहे हैं कि आप जो से थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्री से आए हो, दैट मीन कि ऑटोमेटिकली आपको जो है कुछ पता नहीं है। सो उसके बाद जो थोड़ी देर मैंने एमबीए किया, फिर मैंने कहा कि नहीं, दैट्स बिलो माय लेवल। तो फिर मैंने टीचर के साथ भी बात की और टीचर ने भी मुझे कहा कि नहीं, एक्चुअली है कि आप यहाँ पे आए हो तो जल्दी से आप पढ़ो और उसके बाद आप कहाँ पे लोगे, दैट्स एक्चुअली वाज द आइडिया। So I know that's not my thing actually, that's not what I want, and I want to study further, I want to become something. So उसके बाद जो फिर मैंने टूरा एग्ज़ाम भी किया कि ओके मैं देखता हूँ कि मैं फर्दर जो सा जा सकता हूँ या नहीं। तो एक साल के बाद फिर एमबीए करने के बाद मैं जो फिर एमबीओ में चला गया। एमबीओ में मैंने जो फिर आईटी स्टडी की, जो कि मेरी पैशन भी था, बिकॉज आई एम टेक्निकल पर्सन, सो आई थॉट ओके दैट्स द थिंग दैट आई एम गोना डू। उसके बाद जैसे फिर मैंने वो स्टार्ट की, साथ में डच भी सीखता था, जिसके वजह से बहुत डिफिकल्टीज भी आती थी, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग वाज इन डच इन हॉलैंड एंड माय डच वाज नॉट द ग्रेट वन एट द टाइम। तो अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो सी थी ये थी कि मैं स्टडी आगे कर रहा था तो बहुत अच्छा जा रहा था, मार्क्स में ठीक आए थे फॉर समवन जो कि अभी आई थिंक फ्यू इयर्स इन नीदरलैंड वाज, उसके हिसाब से मेरे मार्क्स अच्छे आए थे कंपेयर टू पीपल जो यहाँ पे बोर्न थे। तो साथ में डच भी सीख रहा था। तो ये है कि एक्चुअली अपॉर्चुनिटीज थी जो कि आपके पाप पे आती हैं, तो आप खुद डिसाइड करते हो आप उनको कैसे हैंडल करते हो। तो उसके बाद मैंने एमबीए फुफिया किया, फिर अपॉर्चुनिटी मुझे आई कि मैं जॉब करूं। तो मेरे पास तब टू चॉइस थी कि मैं हाबियो करूं, तो हाबियो कंप्लीट करने के बाद फिर जाके मैं वर्क करूं। बट आई डिसाइडेड ओके आई एम गोना स्टार्ट वर्किंग। जब मैंने एमबीए कंप्लीट किया, एंड बिसाइड वर्किंग आई स्टार्ट doing my HBO, not TV channel, but so I started the HBO Informatica, and वो जो सब मैंने जॉब के साथ वो फिर कंप्लीट की। It's actually the, you can say it's the dilemma and opportunity, आप उसको कैसे हैंडल करते हैं, that's up to you।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मुझे ऐसा कोई स्ट्रगल नहीं हुआ, I didn't have something like that। मेरी मामा और मेरे पेरेंट्स मेरी स्टडीज़ में बहुत क्या कहते हैं इन्वॉल्व थे, and they always supported me, so मुझे high school और master's school में कोई problem नहीं। After doing my HBO, I wanted to do my master's, and there the struggle started because मुझे admission यहाँ नहीं मिला था, so I went to Tilburg University। पहले कुछ साल I traveled all the time, but afterwards it became quite difficult for me to concentrate on my studies and to get my marks and everything and write my thesis. So I decided to live over there, but that's not easy being a Pakistani woman. Secondly, I have a big family here, so we're quite involved into each other's life, I feel. So that was for me the dilemma to make the choice, like am I going to keep traveling all the time, like 2 hours going, 2 hours coming back, or am I going to live? And the log kya kahenge thing assume मेरी journey हुई, but I thought नहीं, क्योंकि मेरी life है तो the Dutch thing that is inside me, like okay मेरी जिंदगी है, मुझे पढ़ना है, कि अगर मैं पढ़ाई खत्म करूँगी, if I will finish it, then I'll be, I can make my parents proud and I can make myself of use in the society. But at the moment जब मैं चली गई थी and I went to live there, I found it so difficult. I didn't tell anyone. I just didn't meet anyone. I was focused on my studies, and I wasn't confident enough to tell everyone कि yeah, I'm living over there. So it was actually living a double life कि हाँ सब ठीक है. No one knew it. My parents knew it, but it felt so wrong कि छुपाना क्यों है? Like अगर मेरे मामा पापा को problem नहीं है, no one has a problem. I'm doing it for my studies, but it felt so that the छुपाना. Now that I'm finished and I've got my diploma, I'm like हाँ मैं वहीं पर रहती थी, like उधर बिंदास बोल के. But at that moment, and that's the kind of dilemma that I feel कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर आप वहाँ पढ़ रहे हो, you should be proud and tell कि हाँ मैं वहाँ पर हूँ. पर ये जो छुपा छुपाई, I didn't like it back then, and now I feel proud to say कि मेरे parents ने कहीं ना कहीं मुझे support किया, because if they wouldn't, I know they had a difficult time because they used to miss me and you know कब आ रही घर, and I know they had मतलब they were very but I feel so proud that they somewhere did support me, because if they said अगर तुम जा रही हो पढ़ने में, we will never talk to you or we will dismiss you or whatever, तो शायद I wouldn't make that decision.
But this chupana, where that come from?
I think because I'm a girl, I'm a woman, and plus I think it's just family, relatives. It's a little bit of taboo. Okay, I remember meeting someone afterwards and they said, yeah, you must have a great time, you were living there. I was like, I was in the room all the time, like I'm complete geek, okay? I was so involved with my parents, ki sab theek hai, is everyone okay? And I was worrying about my grades, am I going to finish my studies? So the things that people think like, oh, ladki wahan par kamre mein padhne ja rahi hai, the kind of things that they think. I mean, I was like feeling so lonely over there. I was missing my mom's food. कुछ अजीबो गरीब सा कुछ बना देती थी. I don't think I can cook well, but they think. But still, I was like, oh. So maybe it's the romanticizing or the kind of fantasy that they have, that girls living outside their homes have some kind of free life and they're chilling and partying. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could do a little bit of कुछ enjoy करती, but I couldn't because I was so involved in studying. But it doesn't matter. The thing is, I was so involved what other people would say, and I don't know how and where, but maybe it's the culture.
I'm interested because your parents were in favor of you going.
Well, they did. They were like, we would rather not.
But they gave you the permission.
They were the permission. I mean, if I wanted to go, I would just leave. But anyways, I did respect. I did explain. I just said like, listen, I want to finish my studies and I'm about to leave. And yes, so.
No, I'm interested in, because you had to live that double life, that lying towards people. So what I find difficult about that is you make a double personality of someone.
Yes.
So you're lying at one hand, and the other hand, people expect you to
I
be
don't want
honest.
to call it lying. I would call it like it's none of your business.
Not
Yeah.
telling the truth.
Like, yes, I just felt like it's none of your business because I don't know what other people are doing, so you don't need to know what I'm doing. Maybe it's like a mask of this, I think.
Yeah.
But
For me, be vocal about it.
now I am. But at that moment, I found it very difficult because it was more like, a lot of people know me. I have my grandfather came over here, then I have Mamu, Khala, everyone. So I know that people would point fingers, uski haji, uski beti, udhar rehti, I didn't want that. I think I had that kind of baggage inside of my head. They will point fingers. Well, I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong, but it's still up there somewhere. So.
But has somebody ever pointed a finger, or it
Well.
wasn't like?
Well, I know they did, but they didn't come in front of me. It was more back. Like people did.
किसी के मुंह पे आके बोला.
No, because my mom and I, like, if someone wanted, अगर कोई बोलता तो कि आपको क्या मसला है? मेरे मुंह पे कोई नहीं बोलता, but I know because I have a lot of people that I know कि हाँ, सुना. And then होता ना कि उसके इर्द गिर्द भी बातें बनाना कि इतने अरसे से हमारे, maybe I lived there for 9 or 8 months, but it was like, oh, she lived there for 2 years, So it was like, I know that people ने लोगों ने कुछ कहा नहीं मेरे मुंह पे, but I know कि हाँ, होता ना कि मिर्च मसाला लगा के.
तो you are
आपको लगता है अगर आप लड़का होती तो डिफरेंट होता?
I think it would be क्योंकि doesn't matter. I think लड़कों का नहीं है. I feel कि
ये क्यों है हमारे कल्चर में?
वही मैं कह रही हूँ जो फैंटेसी है कि लड़की बाहर and then some kind of पता नहीं क्या उनके दिमाग में.
हमारी कल्चर में कि अगर लड़की या लड़का over 20s they finish their
Yes.
They are not trusted and they are not allowed. Why?
I don't say I don't know.
Later, question later.
The question is very relevant. Huh? Why is there a difference?
No, because
But yeah.
the question is
So-
here today. No care.
Yes, low calculating is a topic, so let's keep it central.
Okay. 2022, 25, you got your career, you people are finished with education. Why your parents still don't trust you?
It's
On
a
your parents,
I think
more society.
we'll just take the question. I
Yes.
think it's a very
so
valid question.
it's a relevant question. It's not on topic exactly,
Yeah.
but it's mostly society. And men also face this issue in a different way. So I was 17, almost 18 when I decided to leave Rotterdam and come here at this university to study. And I started anthropology and biology first, and then later on studied medicine. At that stage, the first half year I just traveled and I spent a lot of time coming back late. My parents then told me, please go live there. And I didn't care about the others. No one told me, like, of course people were like, why did your son go study there in Amsterdam? He can study in Rotterdam, we have Erasmus University. My parents said he decided he wanted, he went. So it's also how your parents defend you and you yourself learn to have, skip, lack it. It's their problem, not mine. And that's also something you need to learn in time. It comes. And that's the part self-reflection. Because you know what you're going to do right and wrong. And you need to make your own mistakes. Because if you don't make them now, you'll make them later in life. Because that's how you develop as a person, as a human being.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
My parents को भी strong होना चाहिए.
They need to stand with their children. If you don't trust your child,
Thank
It
you
does
very
that.
much. Thanks for being so candid and so open and honest about yourself. No, thank you very much, because this is what we should give our kids in future, that you should be candid, you should be honest, you should make your choices, face them. And this is the problem of our culture, the double standard. Well, I can understand in front of you will say बड़ा अच्छा है, पढ़ रही है बेटी, ये है, वो है, और पीछे मसाला लगा के, and that's bad. That's part of our. Just one more question to them, and then we will go take questions from you people. I think it would be very interesting to know if there are any values which you think here which are irreconcilable with Pakistani culture or values. Is there any, just one or two, said these are totally opposite to each other, they can never be reconciled, and how do you manage them? I mean, you don't leave the country, because nobody's that consequent to say, okay, these are reconcilable, I'm totally unhappy about this value, and I'm not going to accept it ever. So is there anything you think that is completely reconcilable?
अब मैं अपनी स्कूल की बात बताता हूँ पाकिस्तान की। अगर हम पाकिस्तान को अब देखें तो इतना ज़्यादा मेरे ख्याल से कल्चरल डिफरेंस नहीं है, अगर हम वेस्टर्न देखें और पाकिस्तानी देखें। लेकिन जिस टाइम में मैं स्कूल जाता था पाकिस्तान में, तब था टोटली डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड था। तब इस तरह था कि बॉयज़ एंड गर्ल्स का जो स्कूल अलग होता था। इवन सर कुछ स्कूल थे जहाँ पे उंगलियों पे इस टाइम में। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो था हमें ये होता था कि it was like okay, that's the whole other alien thing, something, girls जो सी होती हैं या boys जो सी, क्योंकि हमारा कभी आपस में बातचीत नहीं की होती। यहाँ पे जो जॉइंट स्कूल होते हैं जो कि आपको फिर सिखाते हैं okay, that's your opposite and the alien thing something. So that's what I don't like about the Pakistani schools के join होना चाहिए। एक मैं समझता हूँ कि एक लड़की और लड़के में दोस्ती उसी कोई गलत काम नहीं है।
Good.
बस टाइम का
Yeah.
डिफरेंस।
okay. Well, education is one of the things, again, what I focus on, and I would come to the exact same points. Education is paternalistic. The teacher is the boss. So in Pakistan, when the professor or the teacher comes in, everyone will stand up and wait until he or she sits down, and then they will sit up. That's unspoken now. In Holland, I expect my students to attack me on my choices. So when I see a patient and a student sitting with me, and he's just saying yes, 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 I will say, okay, don't you have your own opinion? Do you agree with me? What's your choice? Why did you choose this? This is something very scary for a typical Pakistani student, they are not taught to
Challenge.
conflict their teacher, because the teacher is an ustad, is someone who is universally always right, even when he's wrong. And here we are told, oh, if a student knows more than I know about a topic, I'm happy. I'm like, thank you, you just taught me something, which is very opposite there. So that's the education part which really can't reconcile with each other. And it's slightly changing in Pakistan, but if you go to the governmental hospitals and universities, it's very backward thinking for me as a Dutch trained specialist.
Yeah, it's only changing on Facebook.
Sorry?
It's only changing on Facebook.
It's only changing on Facebook.
Yeah.
But that's the Naya Pakistan, which
That
will
you
come
can
only on
challenge.
Facebook,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the other thing is a very big thing, and it's something I do want to point out, because as a pediatrician I see the consequences. Sex education. So we get sex education at school, but at home it's a topic never touched.
Yeah.
And then you get married, and suddenly they expect you to have kids and things.
Yeah.
So that's this whole knowledge gap. And here we are taught about these things, but we don't discuss them at home. My parents were forced to talk about the things that are possible, because they found a condom which we received in a student package as students, and we didn't know, we just threw it somewhere. My parents opened it, they found a condom, they were like, oh, we need to have a talk now. Well, by that time we were like, my eldest brother, he was 17, and of course we had at school when we were 6, 7, 8, sex education. My parents didn't know about, we didn't discuss it because it's an off-limit topic. And that's also something parents need to understand, people need to, we are living in a different society. Things are different here. It's a co-ed education, it's an open society, different opinions are there, and also these relevant topics. It's the most one of the most essential things in life we do. We eat, we drink, and we have a family, children. So these topics need to be discussed by parents and not by only school. Because parents can also give their opinion and their boundaries, why they think differently about different things.
मैं first part is शेरियर आपका जो सा first point था, actually मेरा भी same experience था उसमें, कि एक तो मैं अपना वाक्य बताता हूँ स्कूल का. मैथ का मेरी क्लास थी and teacher कुछ explain कर रहा था, तो मुझे समझ नहीं आई, and I was not the only one, बहुत सारे लोगों को समझ नहीं आई. तो मैंने फिर से टीचर से पूछा कि सर हमें समझ नहीं आया, आप इसको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे दोबारा से. सर ने फिर टीचर को हम सारी करते, तो उन्होंने फिर एक्सप्लेन किया, तो हमें फिर समझ नहीं आई. तो मैंने दोबारा से सवाल किया, मैंने कहा कि सर हमें समझ नहीं आई. फिर उन्होंने कहा बाहर जाकर खड़े हो जाओ. सो पूरा जो सा घंटे 2 घंटे की आई थिंक क्लास थी, घंटा में पूरा बाहर खड़ा रहा, और मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा. मैंने कहा कि आप जो से मुझे कुछ सिखा रहे हैं और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही, तो आपका तो हक बनता है कि आप जो है इसको अपना सिखाने का तरीका या चेंज करें, या आप मुझसे पूछें कि क्या वजह है कि मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही. तो घंटा बैठ करने के बाद जो समय फिर प्रिंसिपल के पास चला गया. प्रिंसिपल को मैंने शिकायत की, तो ऊपर से मैं थोड़ा रो भी रहा था, बहुत छोटा था. तो उसके बाद फिर वो टीचर जिन्होंने मुझे निकाला, तो वो कहते हैं इस पे कल बात करेंगे. तो मैं कहा ठीक है. तो अगले दिन लगा कि मैं स्कूल नहीं जा रहा क्योंकि इस तरह हुआ. तो मेरी मदर ने फिर उनको फोन किया, तो प्रिंसिपल मेरी मदर कहते हैं हमने आपके बेटे को एक्साइल कर दिया, वो अब स्कूल नहीं आएगा. She was like, what? So that's actually both that Pakistan.
Yeah.
It's a very extreme thing, eh?
Yes. Thank you. Now, since we are talking about in the earlier part of the presentation as well about the cultures, and I think one thing we all know about the cultures that they emerge and they change over time. I mean, last 70 years is nothing in a period of 3,500 years of that region.
Yes.
And we see here also the cultures evolving and changing completely. And I hope that within the Pakistani community that culture someday will also change, that the parents are open to their kids and help them making these choices and guide them. Otherwise, actually, it is more a point towards parents, that we as a parents, we actually are really being not good to our kids if we raise them in a way that we teach them something at home which people laugh at outside, and they see something outside but they can never talk at home about it. And this is how they kind of develop a double personality, as you said, that at home I have to behave like this, but outside I have to behave like this. And then they don't tell their parents they have been to a party and they danced boys with the girls or girls with the boys, and they probably, God forbid, had a beer, probably, or not. So all these things that suddenly they are leading two lives. So leaving at that, I think I would like to have.
No,
Go ahead.
I wanted to, what you just said, I wanted to give credit to my mother. She's also here. She always raised this kid.
Excellent.
I want you to talk to me, because when she was 9, she couldn't talk to her mother because they came from Pakistan and they were very strict. So she was like, I want you to tell me everything. I can discuss everything, school, whatever it is. And she was supportive. So I feel that maybe people should learn something from her
I
mother.
think I would like to have an applause for her.
And I also want to add that she was the one that said, "Ke tum padho." I want you to educate yourself. I want you to get your driving license. I don't want you to come dependent to a man, because otherwise you have to ask your husband, "Ke mujhe wahan pe chodo, wahan pe chodo." No, she pushed me to go get my driving license, go study, go do everything you want, because once you have other commitments, you might not do it. So I feel and because of her, I feel that my father also supported, because he came from Pakistan, and like I feel that he, like when I wanted to study, he was like, okay, habio kar le, theek hai, master kar lo, jo karna kar lo, okay, you want, okay, I don't agree with it, but okay. I know that somewhere he has a problem, but because he knows that how important it is for me and for my future, and because my mom also exaggerates on it, he feels like, okay, she's right. So I feel that if the father isn't, the mother should be strong. And we should raise our daughters like that, because if we get husbands like that, then we should stand up for our children. Because I've seen a lot of mothers that choose their husband's side because like, oh, my husband will chhod ke chala na jaye, and they leave their children. And their children, that's why they go party and do stuff like that, because they feel lonely. They don't feel I can share my problems with my parents, because that's their home. If I couldn't, like when I was studying, I was writing my thesis, I felt so depressed, but I could always call her. She would talk all the time with me on the phone. But if I couldn't do that with her because she didn't understand being depressed or having a burnout, then I would go and find new friends or whatever kind of people that maybe they weren't good for me. So I feel that parents should be involved, and especially daughters. They should emphasize that you be independent, and if you get Pakistani culture, independent means badtameez, and that's not like that. I mean, if you want to be independent or badtameez, mein zameen asman ka fark hai. If I'm vocal, I'm not being badtameez. I'm just sharing my opinion. Badtameez means I'm lowering you down. Like अगर आप कुछ सोच रहे हो तो आपकी सोच में कुछ भी नहीं है. That's not like that. So I feel कि अपने daughters को ये सिखाना है, और बेटों को तो वैसे भी सिखाते हैं. Be independent and be, मतलब अगर मैं देखूं, अगर जैसे education की बात करें, जब मेरे क्लास फेलोज मेरे टीचर्स को बोलते थे यार मार इफ इन द चैट नहीं खुद उसमें शॉक में हो जाती थी कि हैं टीचर को यही बोला, टीचर को यूनिवर्सिटी में होकर टीचर के साथ हमें लगता मुझे लगा कि मे बी बदतमीजी है, बट इट इजंट. एंड नाउ अब एक फॉर्म की ये हमारे अंदर होना चाहिए था कि आप डिस्कस करो. अगर आप किसी बड़े से बात करो, ये बदतमीजी नहीं है, बहस नहीं है, आप एक दूसरे के साथ सीख सकते हो. तो आई फील कि ये होना चाहिए.
Well, we need more mothers and daughters like this. I think it's very hard for younger generation in Pakistan to believe. I went to school in Karachi, it was co-education.
Yeah, mine also. In Pakistan.
We went to boys and girls were in the same class, same school. So we didn't have that kind of and the other thing is, if you look at I still have albums, photos from the 70s when my European friends with me, and they were camel riding in Hawke's Bay and Clifton, in girls swimming in bikinis, the European girls.
Hawke's Bay.
And it used to be like that. And look what we have done in 50 years to that country. Anyway, so who wants? You have a question?
Yeah, I have a question and observation as a. Okay. Yeah. No. Go. Yeah.
Well, you talked about the change of situation. Well, I'm 71 years young, and 60 years ago I did not get sex education at all. I'm from a rather conservative rural area in the Netherlands, where people also were saying, what my parents say, what will the neighbors say?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's the same
yeah, so
society.
don't, yeah, so it's very much, but of course we have come out, and it's not all for the good, yeah, but it gives another value and another feeling of freedom, yeah, and we all have to deal with the new situation.
So the freedom came in those rural areas, or in the Dutch society when the Reconciling went away.
Yes.
Because they had this segregated system in which everything from your schools, your television channels you would watch, the newspapers you would read, everything was focused on your religious background. So it would be this Catholic or Protestants had formed, and you had a separate lifestyle. When that disappeared, and that was around the 70s when it started to fall down, then people became one, and it united everything. So in Pakistan, and especially here for us, we are living in that same bubble. We are really living in that same bubble as a society, Pakistani group. We look at the same geo or whatever, satellite or whatever channel. We keep the same opinions, and we watch what will my neighbor think of what my son or daughter is doing. And we need to break that. So in breaking that, the parents, like you said, need to take the first step, because that will make it easier for the children. And I see the new generation already thinking differently. They are more involved in this social media, and that is tearing down boundaries faster than in the past. So it is changing in the right way, but still children face also problems of the stigma people are making. The Dutch people, when they look at you or me, they see a colored or a scarfed person, and they have a prejudged opinion about me. And how do you fight that one? Because that makes life also very difficult. Because if it's every time difficult for you to get a good job opportunity or a good job when you're interviewed, and some other guy who might be white gets it without having the proper credentials that you do have, it pushes you back in that isolated bulb you are in, because you will stay in that one and say, look at them, they are not accepting me. And you need to get out of that. And that's, I think, the biggest struggle for our the upcoming generation.
Maybe the report of this afternoon should be sent to Minister Blok.
Oh, yes.
Well, his name is Blok.
He's Blok.
अच्छा, ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे, अभी यहाँ पर आए हुए 3 साल ही हुए हैं, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं हुए ऑनलाइन में, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है आप दोनों की कहानियों से, मेल्स की कहानियों से जो एजुकेशन से मुतल्लिक है, कि ये अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको यहाँ पर ही मिली जो पाकिस्तान में नहीं मिल सकती थी, कि अगर आप निचले दर्जे में भेज दिए जाते तो आप दोबारा से संभल नहीं सकते थे, अपनी ड्रीम जॉब या ड्रीम एजुकेशन नहीं ले सकते थे जो यहाँ पर है. तो दिस इज़ द अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑब्वियसली, जिसको हम उमूमन निगेट करते हैं. मैं इन जनरल बात कर रहा हूँ, स्पेसिफिकली इस हॉल में बैठे हुए लोगों के लिए. और जो आपने बात की, अच्छा, ये वो डिलेमा है जो मैं हैरान हूँ कि ये वो डिलेमा है जो पाकिस्तान में है मौजूद फैमिलीज़ की वजह से, और आप और आपकी फैमिलीज़ यहाँ पर रहते हुए उस डिलेमे का शिकार हुई, जो मेरे लिए सच्ची बात है, ये एक अनहोनी बात है. और मुझे अब अगली बात, जो ये ऐसा फिर क्यों है कि आप तीनों दोस्त जो हैं बहुत ही उस डिलेमे से निकले, चैलेंजेस को फेस किया, उन अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ का फ़ायदा उठाया, लेकिन अब भी हमारी डिस्कशन में, नौजवान लोगों की डिस्कशन में जो जहाँ पर भी होती है, वो हम वही दकियानूसी, मैं तो कहूँगा सॉरी, दकियानूसी ट्रेडिशंस को ही प्रमोट कर रहे होते हैं अपने फेसबुक मैसेजेस में और शेयरिंग में और अदरवाइज. व्हाई इज़ दैट? जब यूथ इतनी ज़्यादा क्लियर है, कि आप जैसे क्लियर हैं कि अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, फ्रीडम है, डिलेमास हैं जिनको आप लोग चैलेंज भी किया और उनसे मतलब उससे निकले, उसके बावजूद फेसबुक पोस्ट के ऊपर यहाँ के लोग नौजवान वो उसी को फैंटेसाइज कर रहे होते हैं, नॉस्टैल्जिक हुए होते हैं उन ट्रेडिशंस के बारे में जो यकीनन सवाल उठाने का जज्बा और हिम्मत नहीं देती.
देखिए, मेरा पर्सनल जो सा उसमें ये है कि फेसबुक जो सा हम भी चला रहे हैं, जो पिन करने से जो मैंने नोट किया वो ये है कि ठीक है, हम ये बहुत दफ़ा कहते हैं कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, सोसाइटी क्या कहेगी, लेकिन बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो आप कह रहे हैं जो वो यंगस्टर प्रमोट कर रहे हैं वो उनके घर में हो रही हैं, क्योंकि आप ये कह सकते हो कि लोग क्या करेंगे हम उनको इग्नोर कर सकते हैं, लेकिन पेरेंट्स क्या कहेंगे उसको हम इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते, ये भी डिलेमा है।
I also want to add कि जो फेसबुक की आप बात करें, जो कहते हैं ना कि जो लोग जिनकी बात में दम होता है, they don't really go on Facebook and like discuss. जो लोग मोस्टली सोचते हैं अरे यार entertainment है चलेगा, you know, I feel कि maybe you're not looking at the right platform, you're just looking.
It is about social media, not
Yeah.
Facebook,
No,
but Twitter.
it's
You know,
not
Donald
social
Trump
media.
takes a Twitter. Or Jalal Ghafoor is
अगर
taking
हम
the Twitter.
पाकिस्तानी community की
Yeah,
बात करें,
yeah.
they're not. I mean, if they're the I don't theoretically. Ja, nee, de
Ja.
mensen die theoretisch
Ja.
maar weten, kijk, praktische mensen, want ik ga niet hoog of laag opleid zeggen, maar praktische mensen die denken gewoon anders en die voelen zich minder belemmerd als ze hun willen uiten op social media. Maar mensen die misschien theoretisch zijn, die denken 10 keer na, hoe zeg ik het, hoe verwoord ik het, hoe kom ik over, begrijpt diegene het wel. Ik heb het gevoel dat social media niet per se de maatstaf is voor het oordelen hoe Pakistanen in het algemeen zijn. Want ik durf niet heel gauw te zeggen, kijk nu, verbaal ben ik misschien wat beter, maar qua schriften of zeg maar tikken zie je me echt niet argument nummer 1, argument nummer 2.
Go to move on.
Ja.
Khalid sir, आपके
खालिद मीत फारूकी मेरा नाम है, मैं ब्रसल्स में बेस हूँ, यहाँ से पढ़ा हूँ मैं। बिल्कुल मैंने जब मैं यहाँ आया और यूनिवर्सिटी शुरू की तो इस शाम को प्रोफेसर बैठ के हमारे साथ सिगरेट पीते और दूसरी चीज़ें भी।
आप शुरू से बिगड़े हुए
लेकिन ये बड़ा, मैं हमेशा सर कहता हूँ और वो मेरा नाम लेते और लोग सारे दूसरे स्टूडेंट्स उनका नाम लेते थे, प्रोफेसर की यान पीटर फेन, नेदर फेन, पीटर से और इस तरह के लोग बड़े प्रोफेसर। लेकिन एक बात मैंने नोट की है कि यहाँ की सोसाइटी पाकिस्तानियों की खास तौर पर they are more conservative than Pakistan. Pakistan has moved forward, but they are intimidated by dominant culture and a false identity. False कि उनकी identity religion में है और the Pakistan, they come from villages or cities, they have moved forward, their children, Pakistan is just moving with the world. This is something else कि इस वक्त dominant यही conservative फिर दोबारा टॉप पे आ रहे हैं, नेशनलिज्म और फैशिज्म बढ़ रहा है पाकिस्तान में और यहाँ के लोग उस फैशिज्म से ज़्यादा मैं देख रहा हूँ कि वो एसोसिएट फील करते हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर फ्लॉप हियर बिकॉज दे डोंट इंटीग्रेट, दे आर फ्लॉप इन जॉब, दे आर फ्लॉप इन यूनिवर्सिटी, दे आर फ्लॉप सोसाइटी। बेसिकली जो एजुकेशन में पीछे रह गई है, जो नाकाम लोग, completely failed youth is more identifying with extremism and terrorism, and so why so in Pakistan in the Netherlands के आपके ख्याल में ये जो religious institutions हैं they are more attractive and they are playing more active role than progressive Pakistanis because they are, I see, more active than progressive Pakistanis. They have more resources. And unfortunately, this country, I know, provide them financial assistance and ammunition to be more conservative, to be more in their ghettos, they're more in their politics. They want to live in their own neighborhood, poor neighborhood, dirty, filthy neighborhood they live, or on social securities, no, not moving forward. So what do you think? Netherlands, is it?
No, I mean, there are certain issues on this. This is a huge topic. I mean, it's not.
I just want to know.
It's not a small topic.
And Netherlands is really complicit to Netherlands establishment. Is complicit to it because it is for their own convenience and let it be this convenient.
No, I mean, there is also a problem in the sense that if you make that claim, then you will also be considered in the same line which in the last 15, 20 years is criticized for being the pro-Wilders standpoint in that society. I will be a bit cautious about that because, of course, there are those ghetto formation is there. I mean, but I see that there is also a kind of change is there, but change is slow. and the problem is that when I would also that I mean that what you call as progressive, for example, if you take the example of Pakistanis, what you call as progressives. The progressives did not give their progressive values to their children.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't know, you know, the people who came from rural areas, they was not religious persons.
Yeah.
But why it went to the mosque? Because they choose for the mosque because that was a possibility which was easier provided to them. But the progressives here, they did not provide any platform. They could not create a platform to give to the kids that, okay, this is where they can socialize. They can give other kind of values to the next generations, which resulting in we have, you know, I mean, if I for example, among the Pakistanis in the Netherlands, I see that Rotterdam's Pakistani, for example, I mean, the South, Rotterdam South, it's a kind of catwalk. I mean, and that has to do that the two most bodies there, they were who were the earlier, but in the early 80s, they were established and they created a kind of structure, a kind of atmosphere. I mean, you were there sometimes in Rotterdam.
I had very bad experience. I tried to,
yeah,
and I told the
yeah, and while in Amsterdam you have some circles of progressives from the 80s onward, but thing is that I mean, I would not blame to those kids who were born and brought up within that mosque structures. I would blame more to the progressives who could not give a kind of structure to them.
It's also a problem of the government itself. The government, with their integration ideas, they didn't want integration. They made sure that in Zuidoost Amsterdam, the people would live of colored background, the Africans, and because they didn't want them with them in their Amsterdam Zuid, good neighborhoods, or in the center. They pushed the Pakistanis towards Africa. The Pakistanis loved it. Of course, you would want to live together with all your friends from Gujarat also came to Holland. No, but that's literally what happened. They are all together living in that bubble, and they will perpetuate conservative ideas. Progressive will come only when you are educated. Most of them are not educated. The generation that came as gastarbeiter, they were not educated workers. And they
I think they had a big also thing that why do I need to be integrated, because I'll go back anyway.
They will go back. So the
there's
children,
no need to learn language, there's no need to understand the politics, there's no need to understand, to make friends, local friends, because I'm going to go back anyway, so why bother? And this all costs money.
no, and now we are focused on
I have to go to
this
Shazia,
integration.
sorry, she was, Shazia, you had a question?
So yeah, when you said first in the introduction, you have asked about ये क्या है ये क्या बोलते हैं दकियानुसी किस्म की posts हैं, and then some posts on social media that according to some views of old generation, like this, I see here a generation gap. Like some people, they are posting on social media like what do you like to eat, what is your love, what is the song that you like, do you think that it is good to have a to have a friend, a male friend, like thing, and you are asking like these are like the topics. What are these topics? These topics are not at home here. So, but we want to get out this. So I see here like a real dilemma between the two generations. So how the young generation is looking at things and how the old generation is interpreting. Like, it is different. It's like a order, like four order, so we should take everything. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. It is what it is. It is reality. People need this. That's why they are writing it. And you can also be disagree with it. You can also agree with it. I also don't like everything. But I think there is some need to talk about the things. And there every statement that also they write something in other group also. Like if young people say something, then parents also get a bit challenged. So, like like his about sex education. Parents get challenged because they were not brought up as child. This is their conditioning. And the child, he is also growing in two cultures, so he has bigger baggage, like knows more. Sometimes we as parents should accept this, that the child knows more.
Yeah.
That's really difficult. At one stage, that's one. You mentioned the age of 22 when the child. The problem is parents don't want to give that freedom to their children because it feels like they have failed or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Children at an early age, when looking at my generation, I'm the second generation. My parents came as gastarbeiders. At very early age, we were already doing things like when they would go to the doctor, I would be sitting as an 8-year-old translating for my parents. So you are forced to be an adult at a very young age. That means you are already deciding things. I was reading the tax forms and filling out tax forms at the age of 12 or something. And you were forced to do these things. But at the same time, giving the full freedom to your children to let them decide things in their life is something unspoken. They are afraid to do that. And that's a huge problem. You are already mentally quite far at a very young age, and you're not getting that extra point of trust and freedom to decide all the other things. I think that will cause a huge mental problem in children in their own development. And that's a problem we are facing, I think, also.
Yeah, but if the fear and the need to control is driving, like if the parent is fearful and the parent wants to control everything in child's life, so you are creating a sphere that you are also not happy, child is not happy. So you say, what is this? Where is conflict? It is just to turn to inward. Parents should also turn inward. We are also throwing everything to children. Children should do this. Children should do that. Good girls should do this. Good boys should do this. Because of their unlearned patterns. Yes. And we should challenge their patterns because the things have changed.
And still in Pakistan, these problems are there. Parents still decide for their children whom they will marry. They have more freedom, but still, whom they will marry, whether it's in the family or outside the family, whether they will, where they will study, what they will study. I still see it. And I see diverse Pakistani people in Pakistan. I'm quite frequent in Pakistan. I'm still seeing the same thing there, and the parents here are doing the same. Not all. In a way, some parents are pushing their own thoughts. It stops you here. Society expects you to decide for yourself, and if you can't decide for yourself, your attitude will be different than the Dutch other counterparts. And if you're differently acting, people find you weaker. If you're not looking at your professor while asking a question because it's disrespectful to make eye contact, the professor thinks, what a lousy student. Look how afraid. He doesn't know. She doesn't know. It's a complex. Whereas if you look at your professor and you ask quite strictly, like, why this, why that? What a good student. He challenges me. I like this one. And we are not taught that way. And still we're not. And I would expect parents by now to have learned from Dutch society that they should be different, and they're not.
And I think
I
just like to add something to it. I think my conclusion is we all are saying the same thing. And to Shazia's point, I think I totally agree with what you are saying, because from where we are standing as the older generation, actually absolutely no forward element. Actually, I'm talking about giving youth total freedom to make their own choices and think about it. And I don't want to make this a side discussion, but the topics on the social media, absolutely no criticism. This is what they like to discuss. This is what they discuss. But I was saying that this is not the only thing in life. Yes. Maybe they think they're not allowed to discuss other things, or they cannot break the barriers to discuss more difficult things. That's why they discuss only easy things. Now, to your point, and I think that also there is no suggestion anywhere that you should be disrespectful to your parents. Like she very nicely explained that you can ignore the society, but you cannot ignore your parents. And it's absolutely, I mean, parents you should respect, but the parents should respect you as well. And if there is a conflict, then of course, I mean, you have to look at your life as well. You have to make your own choices as it happens here. I have to give you just 1 second, no, because I have a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm sorry for that.
We are all from a different culture, living in a different culture. And some born here, some not born here, second generation, third generation, first generation. And no society is perfect. And at least it should be the last thing to expect from Europe in terms of nationalism, in terms of wars, in terms of gender discrimination, sectarianism, religious extremism, whatever. But the thing is, a culture, a civilization, decided something and it's trying to grow. It's now 5 decades that this part of the world, this civilization is growing and achieving something. I'm from Pakistan. I was born there. There's no question of migration, but I am a non-Muslim in Pakistan. I can tell you what is discrimination. I can tell you what is discrimination in the street, in the school, in the college, in the university, in the workplace. What is gender discrimination? What is violence? What is fascism? I can tell you. I'm a Pakistani. No migration. So my question is, where are you people thankful? Where do you give credit? Where do you see a better preposition being a migrant? Where do you give credit? Where are you grateful to this position? Please tell.
I think we all are grateful to be living in this
should be
free
the first
country.
thing.
Oh,
It
but
should be the
that is
first.
that is one of the points I pointed out, that even when struck down, we are pushed, we have the opportunity to self-reflect and to grow into a bigger being. And one of the points was, in Pakistan it would have been impossible if you're going to a lower education secondary school to enter university even, without savage and people knowing you and giving you extra.
Self-finance only.
Yes. Here you have all the possibilities. The point is, we are putting boundaries ourselves on the possibilities we have. We are not self-reflecting and critical, and when it comes to challenging parents respectfully or disrespectfully, that's puberteit. We have that time, and you should challenge, and it should result in fights, because in fights you can grow both parents and children. The Dutch society is very good for us, and we are all happy. Everyone acknowledges that, because we're all here to stay. None of us are going. I am Dutch with a Pakistani background. First of all, I'm a Dutch guy. I can't survive in Pakistan. The mentality and the way the society there works is totally not beautiful. I go there as a doctor. The things I see there are so horrible. I have never seen such misery here in Holland. It's impossible. I have a million examples. I won't. But then
I want to say about if my grandfather, my nana, who wouldn't come to Netherlands, my mother wouldn't have the upbringing and the society. How do you say? Because she's
Speak in Dutch, please.
Oké. Ze is hier opgevoed met de ouders, heeft de Pakistaanse roots gehad.
No.
No.
I don't understand.
Oh.
Speak in English.
Okay, I'll speak in English.
Good.
All right. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I can speak Urdu because you speak
Yeah.
English. All right. Okay. Oké, ik bepaal zelf. Ik praat gewoon in Urdu en dan komt het wel goed. मेरी मामा की परवरिश मेरे नाना नानी ने की, क्योंकि वो पाकिस्तान से आए. So they were very afraid. बहुत डरते थे कि कैसा होगा क्या होगा. अगर मेरी माँ and then जब यहाँ पे वो आई तो स्कूल भी गई. So she learned a lot because of her job and her study. But she married a guy from Pakistan. ठीक है. So even then, alhamdulillah, she gave me quite and my brother a good मतलब दोनों मियाँ बीवी ने a good परवरिश जिसे कहते थे. अगर मेरे मामा नैना वो यहाँ पे ना आते, मेरी मामा वहीं की होती. I don't think कि जैसे मैं अब हूँ मेरी पर्सनालिटी ऐसी होती. Because अगर मेरी मामा वहीं पाकिस्तान की थी, मेरे पापा थे, शायद मुझे कोई पढ़ने के लिए मोटिवेट ना करता. मुझे कहते जाके अपने मामों के बेटे पापा के बेटे के साथ शादी कर ले, you're done. ठीक है. Because वहाँ पर life for a woman is you're just meant to get married and meant to have children. That's it. No other purpose. Obviously, मुझे भी ये बोला गया था कि maybe in the family, but I didn't want to. I want to study. I want to focus on my life. But I know कि अगर मेरे मामा यहाँ पे या मेरे यहाँ पे हम लोग ना आते, so मुझे वो हिम्मत मुझ में ना होती ये कहने की. So somewhere we all are grateful कि यहाँ पर हम आए हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमें ज़्यादा हमारी upbringing में सिखाया गया so you know to think first and plus अगर मैं पाकिस्तान में होती तो शायद मैं अपने दीन में इतनी स्ट्रांग ना होती क्योंकि वो मुझ पर थपा जाता है कि ये तुम्हारा इस्लाम ये मेरे हिजाब पहनने का चॉइस मैंने खुद डिसाइड किया ये मैं नहीं कर पाती अगर वहाँ पर होती सी क्योंकि वहाँ पर ये ओके आपने ये करना नहीं करना मैं यहाँ पर आई एम बोर्न मैंने अपना सोच समझ के आई वांटेड टू वेयर माय हिजाब बिकॉज I was 15 मैं 15 साल की थी पहले लेकिन मैंने 7 साल वेट किया all because के लोग क्या कहेंगे you can imagine मेरे दीन में भी मैं लोग क्या कहेंगे कहती थी so I feel कि जो मैं यहाँ पैदा हुई हूँ यहाँ पे जो पली बड़ी हूँ उसी की वजह से मैंने ये हिजाब पहनने का फैसला because I didn't care मुझे इतने लोगों ने फैमिली में कहा फिर तुमसे शादी कौन करेगा who will marry you what will happen these were only Pakistani Muslims were telling me you had such beautiful long hair ये क्या कर दिया तुमने I was getting criticized by Muslims, not by non-Muslims. So I feel Dutch. I am grateful कि मैं यहाँ पर पैदा हुई हूँ because I was able to have self-reflect and become aware and I could make my own decisions. कि अगर मैंने पहनना है तो मैंने अपने लिए पहनना है और पाकिस्तान में होती तो मैं सब कुछ ना कर पाती.
I think one part of your observation which really touched me really deeply is that what does it mean being a minority in Pakistan? We talk about discrimination here. If you are a Pakistani for your ancestors living there 2,000 years, you speak the same language, you eat the same food, you live in the same boundary, you share the history. Just because you are a minority, you know what discrimination is.
Yeah, recent example.
Yeah,
recent example of economist. So it was
This is Pakistan. And that's why I want us to grow. We can be anything here.
Question here, sorry.
Ja, ik wilde jullie graag een vraag stellen. Wat vinden jullie dat ouders nodig hebben om hun kinderen toch te stimuleren bij hun ontwikkeling?
Eerste is belangrijk dat communicatie tussen kinderen en ouders goed is. एक दूसरे को समझने की बात है ये मेन चीज़ है एंड हमें जो सा डायरेक्टली जो सा एक आइडिया लेके हमें ब्लॉक नहीं करना चाहिए कि अगर हमारे बच्चे बाहर जा रहे हैं तो वो ये कुछ खा रहे हैं ये कुछ खा रहे हैं नहीं ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए अपने बच्चों पे बच्चों को जो सा पेरेंट्स पे ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए और एक दूसरे को समझने की बात है एंड ओपन होना चाहिए ओके अगर वो कोई नई चीज़ सीख रहे हैं कोई नई चीज़ कह रहे हैं तो हम सोचें कि वो क्या चीज़ है
Dus erbij betrokken zijn bij hun ontwikkeling.
Helemaal mee eens. Het gaat allemaal om communicatie. Ouders communiceren met hun kinderen, kinderen communiceren met hun ouders en eerlijk daarover. Als het niet eerlijk is, als het niet open is, kan je niet in je relatie met je ouders groeien. Ga je blijven liegen over dingen. En als je liegt, ben je ook aan het liegen tegen jezelf. En als persoon, wat voor identiteit ontwikkel je dan voor je eigen kinderen in de toekomst? Want de norm wordt dan, je mag liegen. Ja, je doet het tegen de meest belangrijke mensen in je leven, je eigen ouders. Omdat je bepaalde dingen blijkbaar niet mag, wel zou willen of eigenlijk zou moeten kunnen. Omdat het normaal is in onze ogen, want jouw intentie is niet om iets slechts te doen. Terwijl blijkbaar je ouders dat misschien wel zouden denken. En daar gaat het in essentie om. Als je leert om nooit te liegen en dat te zien als iets slechts, omdat je open en eerlijk communiceert met je ouders, de meest belangrijke mensen in je eigen leven, gaat het goed komen.
Mag ik?
Oh, sorry.
Ik vind ook... Nee, ja.
You're not her parent, right?
Moet je कि अगर देखा जाए zeg maar mijn ouders, mijn moeder is heel open, ik kon alles tegen haar zeggen. Maar dan nog was er toch wel die stigma van hoe anderen gaan denken. Dus ouders moeten ook bereid zijn voor veranderingen. En dat ze denken van dit is mijn kind, dit is van mij. En dat ze ook ergens verantwoordelijk zijn. Maar als ze constant denken van oh wat gaat mijn neef zeggen, of wat gaat mijn nicht zeggen. Weet je dat, en dat de tijden veranderen. En dat die kinderen ook, kijk bijvoorbeeld met social media. Mijn broertje was op Snapchat, mijn moeder, niemand weet wat Snapchat is. Ik dacht ik ga ook Snapchat maken, want ik wil ook weet je. Het is belangrijk dat ouders ook meegaan. Social media, voeg je kinderen op Facebook, ik weet dat het waar is. Snapchat, Insta, be your child's friend. Weet je, tuurlijk, je moet ook discipline geven, maar ze moeten als eerste naar jou kunnen komen. En als zij zien, oh mijn ouders kunnen niet tegen verandering, ze kunnen niet tegen bepaalde dingen, dan gaat, wat jij ook zei, dan ga je liegen. Of misschien niet eens liegen, maar je gaat dan op een gegeven moment bepaalde dingen gewoon gescheiden houden. Dan is het opeens ouders, vrienden, relatie. Ja, je creëert afstand. En dat als je, ja, ik denk van als ouders gewoon meegaan ook met de kinderen. En daar is ook advies. Bijvoorbeeld, je geeft je kinderen opvoeding, tot met je 18 jaar. En daarna, je kan niet meer zeggen van, je niet kan, je kan, je niet kan. Maar ga dan ook mee, support them in the decisions. Want dan bereik je het meest. Maar ik denk, ouders hebben meestal een beetje guidance van elkaar nodig. Dat is heel mooi. Kan ja, progressive, Pakistani, je wil, maar we doen niks. We zitten alleen maar te praten. Wat zou
je voorstellen om te doen?
Ik vind gewoon dat ouders, kijk bijvoorbeeld bij mijn moeder, ik vind dat zij gewoon echt met vrouwen moet praten, moet motiveren. Maar ergens durft ze het niet. Ze denkt van toch, ja, maar hoe kom ik dan over? Maar waarom hebben oudere aunties dat of onkels dat? Waarom hebben ze dat? Met society met een poncho, weet je, kom gewoon forward. Maar toch, dan hebben zij dat weer. Ze hebben gewoon guidance nodig. Wij als jongeren, अपने माँ बाप को motivate करो, माँ kom praat. Ik zeg tegen haar, अपने Facebook पे comment करो, नहीं फिर मैं पता नहीं क्या सोचेंगे. Ik zeg nee, ik wil dat je het zegt. आप अपने आप को uit करो. Motiveer je ouders ook. Het is niet कि वो सिर्फ हमें करें, हम भी अपने माँ बाप को गाइड करें. मामा वहाँ जाओ, ये करो. अगर हम तो elkaar helpen, niet यहाँ पर आते बच्चे वैसे फलां वैसे. Yes, Mohan.
अमित आप इधर आ जाए
Wat zouden jullie ervan vinden als ik over 5 jaar of zoiets, of misschien later, naar een feest zou willen gaan of zo? Doe je dan
Yeah, good. क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर दें इनका क्वेश्चन
सबने सवाल सुन लिया है एवरीवन अंडरस्टूड योर क्वेश्चन
ना क्वेश्चन नहीं पता
नहीं वो इंग्लिश में वो बच्ची पूछ रही है अपने माँ बाप से शाजिया और मुर्गा साहब से कि अगर 5-6 साल के बाद मैं पार्टियों में जाना चाहूँ तो माँ बाप क्या कहेंगे वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन
I have also gone through this transition. When you come here with a conditioning of Pakistan, and you are grown up in Pakistan, and you have learned from your parents how to be a parent, because you are also doing the same things what your parents were doing to you. So I was very good mother, I thought. Until the moment came that I realized that it is not so. I was just repeating my mother, because my mother is the best mother in the world that someone can have. May Allah give peace in heaven. But I was doing same things, like how the girls should do. So I was also teaching her the same things, but I have learned. And that was not for this country. So yeah, you should also care about you.
You are not answering her question.
Yeah, just answer the question.
Go to the party.
Just say yes or no.
Because she is second one, and I have to go through this all because with my first one, I am already very lenient with her. Because the first child should make way. So she was getting to problems, so I was also going to learning process. So I also learned that I am doing the same thing that my mother did, and finally I was an example, like an example daughter. I was studying very good.
You still not giving the answer.
No.
You are not a
Shall I be directly answer your question? The thing is that
yes or no.
the thing is, it depends on what kind of party you are going. You know, if you and what is happening there. If you give information about that, you say that this and this thing is happening there, then I will look and I will say, okay, you are going, you can go.
I will take one more question.
Yeah,
from that. जी जी.
Sharia.
You mentioned a lot of time reflections and the process to reflect.
Yes.
Believe me, I went through the same process. Really, I was struggling for many years. In the last 7 years, I found it. How did you find it?
You mean by that my path? What's good for me?
Yes, and how did you, because
Yeah.
most of the time, I'm telling you about myself, I felt a victim. How do you call it in English?
That's one of the most important things what you're saying. We take on ourselves. Often what I see is slachtofferrol. So we become the victim and we victimize ourselves and look at me, pity me, and then we'll talk to the same people and everyone will say, yeah, it's so bad and I have the same bad. Oh, we're so, please pity me. So you pity yourself, you victimize yourself. Transitioning, the most important thing in transitioning is you need to have a mentor, you need to have guidance. And for me, my mentor
OPP.
OPP was there for me, no. So for me that was Noordin Dahan. Noordin Dahan is a pediatrician who came from Morocco, and he was married to our Arif, the woman who's sitting in the
Parliament?
Yeah. So Khadija Arif. So he's her ex-husband. He's a pediatrician trained here, and he was one of those, like some of you people here who came from Pakistan or from Morocco and became a pediatrician on his own. And he had a strong position. He's a boss, and I'm there as a student. And he saw me struggling with some of my mentors or my attendees, the bosses, who were in a way victimizing me and making it tough for me during my traineeship. So that was a really harsh period. He came to me, I found him, and we started communicating what are my qualities. So start to learn where you stand on your own, what are your qualities. And eventually one of the things we did is, I was here at the Free Hospital of Neonatology ward. It was a horrible period. It was not good. The professor was a bad woman. She made it tough for me. I went to another hospital, Erasmus University, which is the neonatology ward is almost 3 to 4 times bigger. It's one of the biggest in Europe. It's complicated, more complex, difficult to go and work there. But I went there to show them here that I can do it, and also myself especially. And what happened, and that was one of the advices I got, that place is a good place for you because there are different people with different backgrounds. You had a homosexual teacher, you had a lesbian teacher, you had a German boss. Everyone was different from each other. And that diversity made that students were accepted better there. So also colored students. Your opinion was accounted for. And then you can trust your own opinion, and you start to learn that everything what I'm saying is right.
Building self-confidence.
Yes, self-confidence. In the FU narrative is that the people who have studied there stayed there, and there was no influx of external studied people. Whereas in Erasmus University, there were 4 from the Erasmus, and everyone else of the staff, and there were like more than 15 staff members, they were from somewhere else. So there were different opinions already there gathered. And here you had the dominant opinion, and if you were against it, you were bad.
We go to move on. I give you the last question.
Yeah, it's very common question, especially अगर हम गुफ्तगू देखें जो चल रही होती है नौजवानों के दरमियान और अदरवाइज, और जैसे शाजिया ने कहा ये ज़रूरी भी है, जिसमें ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि आप सेकंड या थर्ड जनरेशन या बेशक बाद में आए और यहाँ पर इंटीग्रेट हो गए, तो अगर आप किसी और रिलीजन, किसी और एथनिसिटी, किसी और नेशनलिटी में अपना पार्टनर चूज़ करते हैं तो क्या होता है, और जिन्होंने किया उनके साथ क्या हुआ? सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन।
इसका मैं सबसे पहले मैं कहूँगा कि कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स आप लोगों को सबको, क्योंकि आप फील्ड बहुत अच्छी तरह से फॉलो कर रही हैं, ये मैं देख रहा हूँ। देखिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो सा पार्टनर चूज़ करने का जो सा मेन चीज़ है, पहले हमने बात की कि पेरेंट्स और बच्चों में पार्टनर्स का भी सेम चीज़ है कि अंडरस्टैंडिंग। ठीक है, अगर हम पार्टनर चूज़ करते हैं जो कि डिफरेंट रिलीजन से है, बात पे आती है कि सोसाइटी क्या कहेगी, लेकिन अगर आप किसी को चूज़ कर रहे हो तो किसी बेस पे आप उसको चूज़ कर रहे हो। रिलीजन का तो आपको उसको पता है, आपने उसको चूज़ कर लिया, सो इट्स ऑन टू यू एक्चुअली। एंड
व्हाट इज हो रहा है अभी, क्या हो रहा है, यानी हम कम्युनिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, पाकिस्तानी नौजवान
जी हो भी रहे हैं बहुत ज़्यादा। अगर हम देखें पीन पे भी, तो खैर अगर हम देखें शिया सुन्नी की भी हो रही है शादी, बहुत ज़्यादा जो से पाकिस्तानी है वो डच से भी शादी कर रहे हैं. इवन मेरे जो से कुछ दोस्त हैं जो कि एटीज़ हैं पाकिस्तानी जो से हैं. I believe कि सब कुछ हो रहा है.
Shia Sunni, it's mentioned as something, but Shia Sunni marriages were normal. It was not even an issue, except for the past 20 years. We are turning into this conservative, suddenly fundamentalist, segregated way of thinking, where there's this one dominant group and everything else is. It was an issue back in 30 years. It's become an issue. So when it comes to different choices children are making, it's difficult, but it's coming there. I've seen up close the consequences. It causes difficulty with parents, but then again, communication can help. And it's at more levels difficult. It's also the cultural aspect which can be difficult, which can cause problems. And of course, it will take us 1, 2, 3 generations before we are so much mingled in. Already, my friends from different backgrounds, like from Iran or France or whatever place, Bangladesh, I can communicate and relate to them better than with other, sometimes Pakistanis, just because we share, for instance, the same intellectual knowledge.
Okay.
And then you go.
Okay. Just so
Please be brief.
Okay, I'll be brief. I'll be. अब जो आप कह रहे हो कि हाँ कि are you allowed or whatever, but आप समझ नहीं रहे कि अभी भी नीदरलैंड में ये टॉपिक है कि लड़की और लड़का अभी भी उनको फैमिली में पाकिस्तान से शादी करनी पड़ती. सो ये जो आप कह रहे हो कि आउट ऑफ नीदरलैंड में रिलीजन, वो टॉपिक बहुत दूर है. यू शुड बी जो अभी मेन रोल है कि लड़कियां अभी भी मेरी एज में उनको पाकिस्तान से हस्बैंड लाना पड़ता है, या इट्स सो रेलेवेंट. हम लोग इतने बड़े बड़े टॉपिक्स पर, लेकिन जो मेन प्रॉब्लम है कि माँ बाप बच्चों को इस तरह परवरिश करते कि नहीं आपका कज़न ही आपके लिए बेस्ट है, ये भी बेस्ट है, आपके ज़ात, और ये जो प्रॉब्लम रेलेवेंट है उसमें तो हम देख ही नहीं रहे. वी आर जस्ट गोइंग ओवर द कंट्रोवर्शियल जो है, और कंट्रोवर्शियल बहुत लाइक few people do that. Like if you from 100 Pakistanis,
Cousin marriage is controversial to me.
Yeah, okay, but it happens. But it is a real issue. It is a real issue. अगर आप अपने cousin के साथ नहीं married हैं, you're just like, oh, बदतमीज, ये तो गई. You get.
Yeah, this is the question. What is your response?
Yes.
I know this is a situation, but what is the response or reaction?
Each other. एक दूसरे की मदद करो, दूसरे को इन्फ्लुएंस करो कि देखो योर चाइल्ड वो प्रायोरिटी, तुम्हारे मामे का, तुम्हारे भाई का बेटा, वो उसके पास माँ बाप हैं पाकिस्तान में, वो कर लेंगे. उन माँ बाप को यहाँ पर होता, अरे मेरा भाई वहाँ पाकिस्तान में स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, मैं अपनी बेटी उसको दे दूँ, मैं अपना बेटा उसको दे दूँ. सो आई फील कि हम एज ए सोसाइटी अगर एक दूसरे की मदद करें, ये नहीं कि मैं प्रोग्रेसिव हूँ, ये रिलीजियस है, फंडामेंटल, व्हाट इज दैट, व्हाई कांट वी, मतलब हम बोल तो रहे वी हैव टू बी वन, बट वी आर नॉट. We're saying something, we're not doing something. मतलब वो different बातें हो रही हैं. आप लोग मिल के एक दूसरे को अच्छे तरीके से, influence each other. Like, okay, you
the thing is that what he meant is that okay, why we should be one. I mean, we could also go a bit outside.
You can go whatever, but then you can.
No, she says something important. Her opinion is
I understand. I have to wind up.
I have a suggestion to OPP actually. We have social scientists, we have doctor, we have lawyer, and we have religious experts. Why don't we make next sitting about cousin marriages? It's a serious issue.
Oh my God! I discuss cousin marriages in Pakistan because of the genetic consequences, and I am very interested. Yes, I am.
It is not happening in Pakistan even now.
We are making decisions for ourselves, but we have to also think about further what we will teach our children, what culture will we give them. If I marry a Dutch girl, it's fine for me, but when the children grow, we have to give them both our cultures, and they will be put in a very difficult position, because at home they will get maybe Muslim education, whereas they will go to a school, they will get Christian education, and that will be very difficult for the child. Like, we are also, like, I am born here, but I also have to live in two cultures like we're discussing today. But for our children to be have a Christian mother and a Muslim
father, of a Pakistani father, for example, you put your children in a very difficult position. So I think it's my personal opinion.
That's your personal choice, and I
Yeah.
think we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
And
because
yeah, I
am
also
married to a
have
Christian
talk,
and
yeah.
I have kids. So
Yeah.
I can tell you my life story that it has been fantastic.
Mine as well.
It has been absolutely fantastic. And I can tell you how to do it, really from my own experience. Now I have to move on. Sorry. Yeah, here I just want to close this with a couple of slides. I think it has been to start with has been a fantastic discussion, and thank you for the panels. You have been really outspoken and these are the experiences and attitude we really need to propagate. And you are absolutely right. We have to pass this on to parents, other young people, and then make sure that we kind of everyone has to make his own choice at the end. The way you want to raise your kids, as Muslims, as atheists, as Christians, as whoever, it's really up to you. There is no right or wrong, as Shazia said, there is no good or bad. But take some things from today's meeting, because I think sometimes we have been taught in Pakistan some kind of superiority complex, that our culture is superior. हमने ही जन्नत में जाना है और नहीं जाना। ये दुनिया, ये पाकिस्तान बना दुनिया पे हुकूमत करने के लिए है। इस्लाम का हम सिक्का दुनिया पे बिठा देंगे। तो ये these kinds of remarks and superiority complex is good, gives you self-confidence, but there is no culture or religion which is better or worse or good or bad. They are just different. So we have to learn to respect other cultures as good as we respect our culture and our religion. Because if we don't respect others, why should others respect us? There is no compulsion, there is no reason. We have to respect them. So it's mutual. We live together. And cultures, and we also have to think what Dr. Mugai also pointed out, cultures do not emerge or disappear overnight. It takes thousands of years or hundreds of years for a culture to develop, evolve and change. It suddenly cannot happen. Muhammad bin Qasim उतरा बंगौर में या एकदम से 14 अगस्त 1947 हो गया, and next day we had a new culture. We have everything new.
Yeah.
Now we have a new border.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
But suddenly the culture of 3,000 years doesn't disappear. Just poof like that overnight because there is something happened in the calendar. So keep that in mind. And judging all other norms and values against ours is also a bit of bad habit we have. We judge everything according to ये gold standard है, बाकी सब इसके ऊपर पूरे उतरे, हमें किसी पे पूरे उतरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. That is also a very negative attitude. And we tend to put more emphasis on relatively small differences, and we as a human beings have much more similarities with every culture, with every religion, with every color, and we should actually focus on that, because what makes this world really wonderful and beautiful is the diversity of ideas, the challenges we pose each other. And just keep in mind that the nostalgia and the romance Mugai Sahab and I talk about, we also tend to become very defensive. If someone asks us our question, whether it's about hijab, about dari, maybe choti si hai, but about anything, we suddenly become very defensive, like we have been attacked and we have to defend and pretend that we are better, and how do you dare? So just be confident. I mean, we are what we are. We don't have to be like everyone else, and everyone else doesn't have to be like us. So to sum up, I mean, caught between two cultures, is it a dilemma? Is it an opportunity? I think he raised a very good question. You raised a very good question. I think in many ways we are grateful, we should be grateful that these dreams we have realized here, or many of us are going to realize here, probably couldn't have never been realized in any other culture or any other society, and probably never in Pakistan. So dilemma? Absolutely not. I think you are perfect generation, you are in a great situation, you have so much to choose from, and you are like in a fabulous shopping mall, and I can choose this from that culture, this from that culture. You're stuck between two cultures, three cultures. No, develop your own culture. I mean, every culture has some beautiful things and some things you might not like or you might disregard. So do it. I mean, it's okay, it's your free choice. Take whatever you like from every culture. create your own personality, create your own individuality, create your own culture. You should not be limited by boundaries कि उसने ये कहा, मुल्ला ने ये कहा, इमरान खान ने ये कहा, या किसी ने ये कहा. No, be yourself. And as I said, minds work best when they are open like parachutes. So this is, I will finish with this last quote, and someone will push you forward, be it parents, mamu, koi bhi ho. Others will pull you back. Regardless of who's pushing or pulling, the strongest and the wisest choose their own direction. Be respectful. Nobody is asking you to be disrespectful, no. But don't get pushed, don't get pulled. Choose your own direction. You all are brilliant. And I would like to forget this. Our next event is going to be, make a note, on 21st of October. And we have Atif Dokir coming over, and our subject will be again one of those provocative and interesting subjects. Democracy and religion, are they mutually exclusive? And I would like to give some words to Alvi Sahib. He wants to make an announcement, he said, which I don't know what it is.
सब दोस्तों को वेलकम करता हूँ ओपीपी में, और हमेशा से एक असूल रखा है हम लोगों ने कि आने वाला जो प्रोग्राम है हम दोस्तों से डिस्कस करके उसको अनाउंस करते हैं. इसी तरह कुछ इवेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें हमारे कुछ दोस्त एमरजेंसी पाकिस्तान से मूव करते हैं, आने के लिए होते हैं, उसमें कुछ इस किस्म के भी प्रोग्राम रखने पड़ते हैं जिसमें हम जिसकी अनाउंसमेंट नहीं की होती, लेकिन अगर हमें 2 हफ्ते 3 हफ्ते टाइम मिल जाए तो उसमें हम अनाउंसमेंट कर देते हैं. हमारे कुछ दोस्त हैं जो पाकिस्तान से बिलोंग करते हैं, मुख्तलिफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से और मुख्तलिफ तंजीमों से, पोलिटिकली मुख्तलिफ अपना अखबारों से उनका तलब है. तो अक्टूबर के पहले हफ्ते में कुछ हमारे दोस्त आ रहे हैं, उनका इस वीक में वीज़े क्लियर हो जाएंगे. अगर ये वीज़े क्लियर हो गए तो हम प्रॉपरली मेरा ख्याल अक्टूबर के पहले हफ्ते में एक एमरजेंसी तौर के ऊपर हम एक प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं, जिसमें फारूक तारक है, पॉलिटिकल एक्टिव है, फरजाना बारी, डॉक्टर फरजाना बारी एक वुमेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सदर है, और हम ये मेरा पिछली दफ़ा भी आप लोगों के दोस्तों के काम से वेलकम किया था, इस बार वो तैयार है. कल उनके वीज़े की कंफर्मेशन होगी, उसके बाद और सबसे बड़ी बात हमारे लिए जो है कि हमारे बहुत ही अच्छे साथी और बहुत ही पुराने दोस्त अली वज़ीर जो रिसेंटली अभी वज़ीरिस्तान से सिलेक्ट हुए हैं, हम उनको वेलकम कर रहे हैं. कल श्योर हो जाएगा कि वो किस वक्त पहुंच रहे हैं. 29, 30, 31 को एक प्रोग्राम रखा हुआ है बेल्जियम के अंदर, उसमें वो आएंगे. उसके बाद हम उसका प्रोग्राम कोशिश करेंगे कि हम एम्स्टर्डम में भी उनको इन्वाइट करें. इसके अलावा 6 और दोस्त हैं जिनका अपना मुख्तलिफ अखबारों से तल्लक है, पार्टियों से तल्लक है, लेकिन वो श्योर इसलिए नहीं कि 10 वीज़े हमने अप्लाई किए. अगर 10 के 10 आ जाएंगे तो बस हम एक सिटिंग और करेंगे. वो सिटिंग ज़रा एक यादगार सिटिंग के तौर पर बनाएंगे ताकि वो दोस्त समझें, देखें कि यहाँ पर बच्चे हमारे जो दोस्त हैं या हमारे आने वाली जनरेशन जो है हम उनके लिए क्या कर रहे हैं, और वो ही एक आइडिया या जो एक मिथोलॉजी है हम लेकर चले हैं उसको किस तरह इम्पोज किया जा सकता है उस सोसाइटी के ऊपर जो आज एक रिलीजियस और एक बैकवर्ड सोसाइटी के तौर पर हमारे ऊपर अपोज हो रही है. तो हम इसलिए एक चॉइस है हमारे पास. तो इन्फॉर्मेशन के तौर पर मैंने ये बात की है. नेक्स्ट वीक में हम इसको कंफर्मेशन कर देंगे और ओपीपी के साइट से आपको इन्फॉर्म कर देंगे.
Thank you very much, especially for our younger people. हम बाबों को भी कुछ सिखाएं आप लोग नई चीजें. And thanks for coming over. And see you at the next event. हाँ, tea, coffee, biscuits, etc.
ये देखो, ये बंद करते हैं इसको कैसे.